Hi class, today we're going to be talking all about your drawing pencils. So go ahead and grab your drawing pencils. We're going to discuss what each of them mean and when the correct time to use them is, and all about value. So once you have your pencils, let's take a look at them. So you might have a lot, you might just have a little depending on what class you're in, but when you are using your pencils, you will have a number at the bottom. Okay, so let's talk more about your pencils. Every pencil that you have will have a number at the bottom. So this is a 2B pencil, this is a B pencil. They all have different letters or numbers on them explaining what the difference between them is. I have this little chart for you to kind of look over so you can kind of see exactly what each of them mean. So the H on the pencil means that it is a hard pencil. This means that any time that you use a H pencil, it will be light. So if you can tell using the diagram, all of the H's are lighter, and B pencils are softer pencils, which means they will be a darker pencil. So as you can tell for this little diagram, the H's are lighter and the B is softer. So for this project, you will need a H pencil and a B pencil. It does not matter which one you have. You could have a 2H and a 6B, you could have a HB and a 7B. It does not matter what you use as long as you have two different types of pencils. So look at this scale, look at your own personal pencils you have, and try to find two different types of pencils. Pick out which one is lightest and pick out which one is darkest. Okay, let's talk more about your pencils. So if you are in my junior high 2 class, you'll have these pencils. So these pencils are a little bit different, but essentially what these pencils are, this one right here is a little bit like charcoal. This one in the middle is equivalent to a 4B pencil, so that is a soft pencil. And then this one right here is really fun because it is a sketch and wash pencil, so it's a little bit like watercolor pencil, and you can wash over it, and this is how they all look when you use them. So just that simple. Okay, the other pencils, here's how they look when you mark them up. So for the project that we're going to do today, we're going to talk about how to make a basic form. So let's move our pencils aside and make a form. So you're going to start with a shape and then add value to create a form. If you guys remember from our elements, there is a 2-dimensional shape and a 3-dimensional shape. A 3-dimensional shape is called a form. So I want you guys to go ahead and choose out a hard pencil or okay, I want you guys to grab a pencil and let's talk a little bit about form. So this is how you create a form. You create a form by really using a specific location for each value. So you have your highlight, which is the lightest part, your midtone, which is in the middle, your reflected light, which is this little tiny bit of a highlight, your core shadow right here, and then of course your cast shadow down here. So I want you guys to keep this in mind as you are drawing because this will really help you out to determine where exactly you're supposed to put each value. So keep this in mind, we will be referring back to this. Okay, grab a hard pencil and let's get started. I want you guys to try to hold your pencil like this using the side of your pencil, and it really will help you sketch it out a little bit more. The next step that you're doing is you are just going to make a nice circle. This does not have to be perfect. What I like to do is I like to use my shoulder, so it's almost like you're stirring a pot of soup or something like that. And really it will help you create a really nice circle. You can also use your elbow, or if you use your wrist, it will not be the prettiest circle. So really try to use your shoulder and get that movement in there so your whole arm is moving. Okay, the next thing that I am doing is I am going in and I'm shading practically the entire circle. So with this circle, I want you guys to shade everything except for a little bit at the top to leave room for your highlight. Then after you do that, you can smudge it all together and grab a soft pencil. Then you go back in and you really push the value on this. By pushing the value, you make it look a little bit more realistic and you really make it pop. So I'm going back in, shading everything again, leaving that spot for the value, really trying to blend it in together, and really doing a really strong core shadow. All right, then you can continue to blend it after you have your soft pencil all shaded in there. You can blend it again and really try to get a smooth transition from your dark to your light. This whole entire sphere should take you at least 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, let's talk about your next step. Your next step is going to be creating a cast value. With your cast value, you're going to lightly shade around the bottom of your sphere. Make sure that it is diagonal from your highlight. They should not be on the same side. It should be diagonal across from it. And really what I like to do is I like to add a really dark shadow underneath your sphere and then kind of blend it out. This really makes it look like it's sitting on a surface. It makes it look a little bit more lifelike. After this step, make sure that you blend it out nicely and that it is not a harsh line coming off your cast shadow. Then you're going to take an eraser and clean up around the edges and just make it look nice. Blend it a little bit more, clean it up a little bit, and bam, you are basically done with your sphere